So I've got the scrap piece of the floor tile that I use for my color base. Here we're going to work with. And first thing we're going to do, I've got my water gel, which is basically just a real thick PVA type, white acrylic glue. And first thing we're doing is kind of glop out of here, on here just a little bit. It's really thick stuff. It's almost a paste. We'll do this in a couple stages here. So we've got that, and then I've got just an old El Cheapo hardware store brush that I've had for years. It's all frayed and nasty. You'd never want to paint anything with it ever again. So we take that gel, and I'm going to try and do this and keep it so you can see it, so I have to work around here. I'm going to take this gel, see how thick it is, and what we're going to do is we're going to take that and come out here and start basically just getting it, loading it all up in the brush, and just stippling that out. That's going to give us a rough surface to our water there, and it'll see it's almost dry already. It's turning clear. This glue turns clear as it dries, and I would do that over the entire base. Let that dry and set up. And right now it looks dry, but if I actually pull through it, I can actually draw it up, and you can see brush marks and stuff in it. It's still wet, but and depending on the humidity, it'll take a couple hours for that to actually set up and cure. The water gel, or you're looking for acrylic glues that have a high resin content in them, because they tend to be stiffer. The next thing, I'll put some more out here again, and this time I'm gonna draw a line, kind of a crooked liner. That'll be the beginning of a wave or a swell in the water. And kind of the same thing here, except for this, I'm going to actually just come in and side and kind of drag it. And I can drag it from, the first time I usually drag it from both directions, just so we don't have a hard round bead, because this stuff will stay pretty much however you put it. It doesn't smooth out and run all that much. And you can get it and drag it a little bit however you want it, pull it up. And if you're happy with it, you can draw it back in while you're working with it, and if you want more of a rolling wave like that. And then we'll turn that around here. Let's see what we got. And you're going to let that dry. Again, depending on your humidity, it could take anywhere from a couple hours to overnight, or you can go to the next step, which would be once that completely cures. And for this, I'll go back to the actual module, our base here. And I'm not sure how well it'll show up on here this way. Which is basically the same thing. Basically, I did that same thing about 3 or 4 times to build up the height of the wave or the ripples there, and just continuing on with it. So if we get in, and look, you can see that ripple, the stippled effect kind of in between the waves. And then we'll go back here, probably this afternoon. I'm going to dry brush the tops of these waves a little bit and put a shadow of a darker color in behind it. Get a little more depth, but most of that color is all just from the floor tile that you're seeing come through. So, and you just keep building up that effect. You get the height you want and the effect you want, and you can even if you had just your still water. I'll do another one here. I'm just going to kind of stipple this out a little bit. Like we did before. And this time, I'll find my knife here. If you want to just like say a pebble drop or something, you can actually go through and pick up the water where you don't want it. It's probably not showing up on the. I'll put it in effects. However you want to do it. If you want little small ones, those putty knife, anything. Just do a much smaller version of that. And so once it dries clear, then I like to go back and seal everything with future. But because it gives it a hard finish, and makes everything all super shiny, and water of course is super shiny. So I hope that answers a few of the questions there. I'll see that. Get the light to hit it and reflect off of it now. Come on, lights, I know you're there. There it is. Yeah. There it is. So that's, you got the shimmer, just like real water. And so once that dries, you'll have your wave. And this is just a little more of a smaller version. So again, I hope that helps. Any more questions or anything, you can always hit me up on Google Plus or YouTube, and we can go a little deeper in. So, see you guys later.